You clicked on this video because you already know what I'm about to tell you is true, but you continue to do so anyway. Chances are you're of a similar age to me. You go out partying maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks, with people who you think are your friends, but they're not actually your friends. You always reach the same conclusion of this was shit, I'm not doing it again, why do I even bother, I waste so much time and my money. But nothing ever seems to change. My goal by the end of this video is to make at least one person completely quit the partying scene altogether. And if that person is you, then please do let me know in the comments below. I know this video will be worthwhile. You literally tell yourself this every single time, but you continue to do so. Now, I've placed myself with a very difficult challenge of making you quit something that you already know is bad, that you already tell yourself is bad, but you still do it anyway. And no one knows you better than yourself. But I'm going to give it a go anyway. So let's give you a backstory of kind of my time drinking and in the party scene, and maybe for anyone who's not too familiar with it, if you're a bit younger or you haven't actually drunk yourself and you're kind of just watching the video out of curiosity. So from the age of 14, 15 in the UK, I started drinking, and a lot of people around my age would start drinking too. This would start with house parties around this age, where if you were lucky and cool enough, you might get invited. Personally, I did not get invited to too many myself, but from the 2 or 3 that I went to myself, this is kind of where it all started and how it would go up until around the age of 18, when you could obviously then go out to the nightclubs. Maybe a bit younger for some girls, started clubbing at 15, 16 that I know. And up until around 6 months ago, partying, drinking was a major part of my lifestyle and something that I'd probably do every couple of weeks. And it took me around about a year to fully quit just drinking and convince myself to give up, even though I knew myself I did not enjoy this, and I never felt like I fitted in with these types of people who were going out clubbing, drinking, taking drugs. It was never me. It just didn't sit well with me in any way. I just never really felt included. But why did it take me so long to quit when I knew this? And honestly, I would say it's probably a mixture of 2 different things. And the first one is pretty obvious, and I would say this is the main reason why a lot of people continue to do so, even when they know they don't enjoy it, even when they know it's not good for them and it's not getting them to where they want to be, is the fear of missing out, the FOMO. And it's very hard being a young person to kind of navigate that when everyone else is doing something and you feel like, I can't really do my own thing, they're going to stop being friends with me, I'm not going to have any friends, I'm going to be on my own. I completely understand this. And the second reason I feel I continued to do so for so long was because my reality, my actual life was not that good. Therefore, I needed a substance, I needed a stimulation to kind of feel that high that I didn't get, that I now feel I receive from my day-to-day life. But this high would diminish every single time. And as my tolerance would increase, I need more and more volume of alcohol, more and more mixing the substances to feel that same high. And eventually, I would have to drink so much and it still wouldn't even feel good. And this is very similar to the porn addiction that I've spoken about, which I've had myself and a lot of young men have. That it takes a certain caliber to kind of get you aroused is very similar to drinking. It takes more and more and more every time. And if you know anything about dopamine, this is how it works, because your base level is decreasing every single time. And the more and more you do it, it takes more and more, and the high of that stimulation decreases every single time. But I feel for most people, it is that fear of missing out which is why you continue to do so every single time. It's a form of socializing, having fun, that a lot of people claim comes from partying and drinking. It's funny because I get asked a lot, what do you do for fun? Because you don't really seem to, you don't go out, you don't drink, so what do you do for fun? And if I say, well, I go to the gym, I record YouTube videos, I read, I meditate, stuff that I class as fun, and these people will just laugh and look so confused, be like, well, what do you actually do for fun? Because sometimes you got to rest, you got to like let your hair down and just have some real fun. But honestly, I really don't think 95% of people know what actual fun is. If it requires some type of stimulation, it's not real fun, is it? If it requires alcohol, drugs, anything that's not natural for you, it's not fun. But anyway, let's set the scene in the UK of going out partying. And if you're from the US or some other countries that aren't as fucked up as the UK, this might be a bit different. But in the UK, we have something called prees, which is pre-drinking before we go out. And a lot of people will just get absolutely blackout drunk before they go out. And this is probably where a lot of people kind of get their high. And it's usually the prees end up being better than the actual going out, clubbing, partying, because probably a lot of people end up peaking so early because they drink so much alcohol before they go out. Probably because they know it's going to be so bad. So that's why they have to do it. And if you've been there yourself, that's probably something that you have done yourself. And I know I have a mixture of that and not having the confidence to talk to people without drinking. And also anyone with any kind of value or anything going on in their life, they've probably gone before the partying starting because they don't want to be out till 3, 4, 5 a.m, do they? But the club, so you get to the club and you're surrounded by just completely degenerate people. You have men, horny men there who just want to fuck. That's pretty much the sole reason why they go out. And you have a lot of women there who probably also want to do the same thing, or if not, they're probably quite thirsty for some attention. They want a bit of an ego boost, and they'll know they'll get that in abundance by going out to a club full of men. And anyone that tries to convince me otherwise, that this is the reason why people go out clubbing, I think is a massive cope. A lot of people will try and tell you, yeah, I just want to go out and have a nice time with my friends, I just enjoy it. If you wanted to go have a nice time with your friends, go for a nice meal, go for a walk, go out in nature, go climb a mountain, go for coffee, go do an activity, go play some sports, go to the gym. There's an abundance of options that you could choose, but you choose to be in that environment, surrounded with that people, surrounded by substances, and people try and tell you they're having fun with their friends, which is a lie. But anyway, you're out till 3, you're out till 4 a.m, sometimes even later, because there's an after party going on till 6, and you don't want to miss out. You never know who could be there and what could happen there, so you can't go home early, can we? Particularly if you're at university, and if you've been at uni yourself or been to any uni kind of house parties, you might end up at some flat somewhere. The floor is all sticky, the place just absolutely stinks of alcohol. You might be feeling sober now and you're starting to get hungry. You look around and you're like, fuck, I don't want to be around these people, they're going nowhere in life. And you're like, oh fuck, why did I do this? I did this last week and it was shit, but I do it every single time. You go to sleep maybe 4, 5, 6, 7 a.m, wake up at 10, sore throat, puffy face, you've got a cold because you've hung around with disgusting people who carry illnesses, you're knackered. You again think, fuck me, that was shit. And all you have energy for is instant gratification activities, junk food, watching porn, being lazy, nothing productive. And this could last for a few days. And this is a common story in the UK. And a lot of people, you might think I'm exaggerating, but if you've been on a night out in the UK, this is pretty much what happens. And I've probably not even gone into a lot of details of what some people get up to on a night out and afterwards, because it is honestly disgusting. But if you know anyway. And I understand why, if you're maybe a bit younger and you've not experienced going out clubbing in that partying scene, why you want to give it a go. And I don't blame you, because I did it, so I'm not going to be a hypocrite and say you should know better, because we all kind of want to experience what we've never done before, and I've done that a lot in my life. But I strongly advise you, just don't do it, because it is shit. And if you've read this, if you've listened to this, and you think this sounds like a good night, then by all means go for it. But if anyone thinks this sounds like a good night from recapping this story, you want to go out this weekend, lad, then by all means do it. But I think for 99.9% of people, this sounds like hell. And for me, I couldn't think of anything worse nowadays. And even a couple of years ago, if someone told me this, I would say it's disgusting, but I'd still do it anyway. And I understand this is probably not going to be enough for you to quit, because chances are you are friends with losers, and naturally you're going to end up being dragged down by these people despite all your hard work and efforts. And what you try and tell yourself is, well, he goes out clubbing, but I don't do that. He plays video games, but I don't. He's not doing anything productive. But it doesn't matter, because we've been friends for a long time, and I can't cut him off. You have to cut these people off out your life immediately and create a bigger purpose than just living for the weekend and praying for some sloppy sex at the end of it, capping off a good weekend. You've got to understand there's more to life than this. You can achieve so much more. And I've been there, I've done that, I know what it's like. I've had to cut so many people out of my life who not necessarily are bad people, but they're not going to the same places as me, and that's fine. They don't have the same ambition, they don't want the same things as me. They want different things, I want different things. And it's going to be awkward, it's going to be uncomfortable, but that's what life is like, especially as a man. And you have to experience these times to grow, and you will change, and maybe they won't, and maybe they don't want to. But you have to put yourself first and understand that there is more to life. You have to focus on your mission, your purpose, your direction. And that is what I want for you. And I will offer you one-to-one coaching to work together on finding your purpose and working towards that every single day, because I don't think any man should live an undirectionless life. That's not your purpose. That's not what you should be living for. But either way, I really hope that this has made someone just quit the partying scene for good. And if it's helped you, or if you can relate to this a lot, just drop a comment below. But if you could like and subscribe, that would mean a lot to me. And I'll see you in the next one. Enjoy the rest of your day.